What is up, you guys? My name is Madison. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. So, I want to say a couple things. Ow. First of all, I almost dislocated my shoulder, so I have to be like super careful. Second of all, please read, like, recommend me your like LGBT favorites or controversial favorites or just your favorites in general. I would love to know them. You can comment them down below, or if YouTube decides to turn off my comments, which I'm surprised they haven't yet, you can get to me on Twitter or Instagram, which are always linked down below. But if you do get to my Twitter, there is a thread there about something called Prideful, and I don't feel comfortable talking about it, even though I am a part of the LGBT community, or LGBTQ plus community. I don't know why I don't always say like the whole thing, but yeah. Please stay safe. And also, I do have ways to help out, like retweeted on my Twitter for the Black Lives Matter, the All Lives Matter, whatever movement you are a part of. I do have things like that on my Twitter, because who I am on Twitter, that's confident me. I'm not always like that, but please help out any way that you can. Sign petitions, donate. Please stay safe. I love you guys. Thank you so much for supporting me. No, please take care of yourselves. It would mean the absolute most to me. But I also wanted to mention that I don't always post book-related videos. I don't know why I'm saying that like right after, but I did want to mention that I don't always post book-related videos. I try to post 3 to 4 times a week, so Saturdays are mostly like makeup to check it ready with me's. That's normally when I'm pretty chill because I'm just putting on makeup and talking to you guys. Sundays are normally when I post about books. Mondays are when I give myself the opportunity to post a fashion video, which I don't do very often, but the opportunity is there if I want it. Obviously, I can post whenever I want to. This is my channel. Doesn't matter. And Wednesdays, I normally post whatever I want, or I try to post whatever I want, but it's mostly based around books, or like all-nighter vlogs, which is probably going to be this Wednesday's vlog or video. But yeah, so anyway, on the TBR, this has been a long, rambly intro. Just want to let you guys know that I love you. Please stay safe. So there are 10 books on my June TBR. There are 4 on the TBR that I'm rolling over because I always want to finish a TBR. That's just me. And then I have 2 books that I want to continue reading, or that I'm in the middle of. So I'm gonna start with the books that I am in the middle of, the ones from last month, or, well, I mean, there are 3 from the original TBR and 1 that's new, and then I'll go into the other 10 books. So let's just get on with it. The first book I have here is The Griffin Project by Carrie Mack. This is 200, I don't have it written down, I'm sorry. This is 280 pages, I believe. Epilogue, 281 pages. So I'm only in chapter 5, page 31. The chapters aren't like numbered or anything. I'm just going off of what I think it is. But this is about Griffin, or I think this is Griffin. I'm pretty sure this is Griffin, who is a superstar, and his little sister Phoenix, and their friend group, and then their little sister Fawn, who's only 6 years old. But pretty much they have this like kind of science magic system where if you die, you can come back to life if they deem you like your death worthy enough to come back to life. So like, say somebody kills himself, which it says in the back that that's what they think Griff did, or Griffin did, and so they don't bring it back to life. But then Phoenix, the like main character, I guess, only has 1 life left, because one is when she died as a baby. She was a premature baby and she died at 6 months. And was brought back to life, and then she died again when she was 6, which is her little sister's age, and she thinks that death is somehow connected to Griffin. I guess she thinks Griffin killed her, but I am actually really enjoying this so far, considering it is rated so low on Goodreads. The next book I have is obviously Order of the Phoenix. I'm finally getting into this. This most likely will not be done by the end of the month, but it will be done probably somewhere in the beginning. I am at chapter 17, chapter 16, chapter 17. Yes, I'm on page 370, which is very middle of the book. But I think so far this is the one that's making me the most angry, which is why it's taking me so long to read it. Because, like, I had to, like, full on, like, put it down for, like, a week. Otherwise, I probably would have been done with it. But honestly, that's not a problem as long as I'm reading it. As long as I'm reading it and enjoying it. And it's like the completionist in me wants to read all the books, so yeah. The next book I have is Chasing the North Star by Robert Morgan. This book has 308 pages. This is about a runaway slave in 1851. He's running from his home in South Carolina. I've had this book for so long, and the fact that I've never picked it up just is shocking to me because I love books from this, like, time period. I love, like, historic fiction from, like, the era of, like, slavery from the slave's point of view. Like, is that weird? Or, like, I don't want that to sound weird. But I really like books like this, and I'm actually really excited. And I've had this for, like I said, a couple of years. I think I got this in 7th grade, and I'm about to be a junior. The next book I have is Columbine by Dave Cullen. It says 389 pages. Supposedly, the pages cut off. My mother picked up this book because I have a weird fascination with, like, not necessarily, like, crime or, like, shootings. I have a fascination with, like, the mental aspect of it. I don't know, that might just be me wanting to be a psychiatrist when I grow up. When I grow up, I'm almost 17. But, like, in the future. So I want to read this. I like looking at, like, the journal entries because Dylan, I think that was the tall one. They have, like, his journal entries in here, and, like, the closer they got to the shooting, like, the messier his handwriting got, and I thought that was pretty cool, actually. So I did find the audiobook to this, and so I might, like, listen to it almost like a podcast. That probably sounds really weird, but that's what I'm gonna do. Or what I might do. And then the last book I have from last month's TBR is The Shape of Water by, I don't know how to pronounce that, long G word, Del Toro, and Daniel Cross. So I want to read this one pretty soon because my mom wants to read it. And then we can watch the movie together. I'm super excited. Anyway, this book has 314 pages. I do not know what this is about. I don't know if there's a movie. Ooh, it's a science fiction, historical fiction. I'm excited. Anyway, now my June TBR. So the first one I have is obviously Always and Forever Laura Jean. You'll see it next month. And you obviously saw that I read I don't think I showed you the other one, but I read the first 2 books this month, and I really, really want to get to this one. I don't know why this is the only hardcover I have of this trilogy, so I'm probably going to donate this one when I get a paperback version to my library. My precious hardcover, because hardcovers are so expensive, and I just don't want to buy 2 hardcovers. Plus I figure it might be kind of hard to find the original covers and not the ones with, I forgot her name, the really pretty Asian girl in the movies. I know Noah Centineo, no. I know his name. But I do want to read this month and just kind of turn that entire trilogy around. I'm so excited. Also, this book has 325 pages. The next book I want to read is Rise of the Isle of the Lost. I read the first book in April, and I read the second book in May. And I'll read this one in June. And then I really, really want to get the 4th book, and then all the Descendants books, because I think those, like, fill in this book, because, or, like, this book series, because normally it's the first book and then the movie, and then the second book and then the movie, and this book and then the 3rd movie, which is actually why I'm reading the book. But I think, like, the Descendants, like, books, like, 1, 2, and 3 are, like, the fill-in books for these, but I know that there's a 4th one of these. So I want to get that one first and read it, and then I might get the Descendants books, but we'll see. This book has 304 pages. Also, it's by Melissa De La Cruz. I don't know why when I talk about these, I don't mention her name. Is her name even on this? I mean, it says De La Cruz right there, but it doesn't say Melissa De La Cruz anywhere on here. Also, that's just really pretty. Next book I have is Square Trials. I I read the first book, and I kind of watched the first movie until my internet gave out on my TV, and now my TV doesn't work. Well, that's not true. Netflix is the only thing that works on my TV, so I'm currently watching Gossip Girl. But this is a Scorch Trial by James Dashner. This is where my love for Mino really, really comes in this book, but also my love for Newt just kind of like skyrockets. Oh, baby Newt, may you rest in peace. Anyway, this book has 362 pages. I am so excited to read this book because, actually, surprisingly, I only read the first book and maybe about like this much of the second book. I love how I perfectly went to a chapter. This is chapter 20. But I'm super, super excited to read this. I might do a reading vlog of this, but maybe not. We'll see. So you can get all my like genuine true reactions, because I don't remember anything from like the book series. I hardly remember anything from the movies other than my baby dying. The next book I have is The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. I have to read this for school and write an essay on it over the summer. Yay, AP, whose teacher is also my cheer coach, but I'm so excited. I love The Great Gatsby. So my copy is exactly 200 pages, like just over, because like they have like explanatory notes and whatnot. The next book I have is Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. I'm so excited to read this because I only own 3 LGBT related books, and this is my newest edition. My first one was Openly Straight. You'll get my opinions on that one. If you didn't already, I don't think you got my opinions on that one, but if you did, yikes. The second one I own is Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens, by the way. Don't know why I didn't mention that. But this one is super highly rated, and I'm so excited. Next, I actually have a nonfiction book. This is Thriving with Social Anxiety. I really, really hope to be able to take psychology next year, but I don't think it'll fit into my schedule, but fingers crossed. My mom bought this for me because I was going back to public school after 3 years of not being around people that related to me in the slightest, but we're not gonna talk about that. But this book, it's by Hattie C. Cooper, so there's that, and it's also 182 pages, and it just talks about like different ways to like help overcome it and like what it is, and it's just really nice to have. The next book I have is an If. I don't know really if I will start it or even finish it or even start it in this month, but I do have the HalfBlood Prince, or Harry Potter and the HalfBlood Prince by JKR. This is my best friend's favorite book in the series. That's what I'm trying to say. This is my best friend's favorite book in the series. This book has 652 pages, so it shouldn't take me too long. I can read a book about this big pretty quickly, maybe about a week or two, maybe a little less if I'm lucky. This book is surrounded by Snape. I don't like Severus Snape. I don't like him at all. But I like Draco Malfoy, and he's in this book, and I'm excited. Next, I have The Wicked City by Beatrice Williams. I am so excited to like finally finish it. I'll start tabbing it. I'll probably continue to tab it. I'm gonna reread it just to get the full effect. Anyway, but this by Beatrice Williams. This has 364 pages. This has 2 point of views, which is one of my favorite things in books ever. One is historical fiction, takes place in the 1920s. Our main character is Ginger. I love her, and she's like trying to fight off this like cop guy, and I don't know if they're like a secret romance budding, but I know that she has like a little like boy toy that's like super rich. And our second character is Ella, and that story takes place in like 1990s, 1998, and she's recently divorced, and she's getting over that because her husband cheated, like literally after 3 months of getting married. Like, if you're gonna cheat, why'd you like marry her in the first place? But it's fine. Anyway, I want to finish this book so bad. I still recommend it. I don't know the ending, and I still recommend this with my entire heart because I was like this much into it, and it was my favorite thing ever. Also, chapter 20. It's funny. It's also one of my favorite chapter styles where it like continues in the page. So the next book I have is Hans Christian Andersen's classic fairy tales. This is 697 pages. I want to start reading more of my classics because I actually bought this specifically because most of his fairy tales are my favorite, like Thumbelina, The Little Mermaid. But Hans Christian Andersen just gives me such a sense of fairy tale and wonder, even if the stories are like super dark. Thumbelina just made me cry. The Little Mermaid made me hate The Little Mermaid because don't kill yourself over a man. It's not worth it. Anyway, I'm actually super excited to finally just sit down and read all of them because as much as I love Hans Christian Andersen, I haven't read all of them. And like, look how gorgeous this edition is. Like, well, just this being in my hands makes me feel unworthy. Like, the last book I have is Harley Quinn's Greatest Hits. I love giving myself little graphic novels. I might pick up a comic book just because, one, they make my reading challenge go by faster. But two, because there's just something so satisfying about sitting down, looking at these gorgeous pictures. Like, look at that. Queen. And just start to finish a book and not taking all day. This book has 197 pages, I believe. 154. But this has 2 different authors. I don't remember their names. They're not written anywhere on here. It has the artists. Paul Dini, Bruce Timm, Jim Lee, Jeff Loeb, Amanda Connor, Jimmy Palmintoni, Scott Snyder, and more. That's my little book TBR. I hope you enjoyed. I am gonna edit a lot of this out. I edited out 4 minutes. This is still a long video. I am sorry. I promise. You are not going to get a 22-minute and 10-second video of me just doing everything. But again, stay safe. I love you guys. Hugs and kisses. Mwah. All my social media will be down below. You can also click that like, click that subscribe, click that bell. Please give me your recommendations. I want my book collection to grow. I'd also like my arm to heal so I can cheer properly. But that's all for today's video. I'll see you next time, whenever that may be. Bye!